Is everything okay with the Premier League champions, Liverpool? Before the international break, we saw them beaten 7-2 by Aston Villa. That was a big shock. Mark Ogden joining me now to speak about this for ESPN FC. Mark, is there a case to be made that Roberto Firmino should be dropped?
Well, people who watch Liverpool every week will say no, because Firmino is the glue that kind of holds it all together. He's unselfish. He makes the runs that Mane and Salah can benefit from. But he's a striker, he's a number 9. He doesn't score enough goals. And I think at some point you have to say, does that justify his place in the team? The fact that he creates goals and space for others. I think right now, certainly with Sadio Mane being sidelined for the last 2 weeks with COVID, I think that Firmino has to play at the weekend. But also Liverpool don't really have many options beyond him. I don't think Divock Origi is good enough to start from, at the beginning of games he plays for Firmino. So the options, they lack a little bit. If they'd signed Timo Werner in the summer, then maybe you could say that Firmino should be taken at the firing line. But right now, I think you stick with him. But he needs to score more goals.
At the other end of the pitch, what do you think the defensive issues are down to?
Yeah, maybe a bit of complacency. I think at times last season, Liverpool back four had it easy in the sense that they weren't challenged very often. I think Van Dijk was just outstanding last season. Alexander-Arnold was. Andy Robertson was. They've switched off a little bit. Maybe they thought that last season showed that they were better than they are. I mean, they are still very good defenders, but maybe they got a little bit too complacent in that respect. But I think one issue as well is that the lack of Jordan Henderson. Without him in midfield, the defence lacks that protection that it was given last season. Henderson divides opinion. I think at times last season Henderson was kind of given a reputation that kind of exceeded his qualities. But I think the fact that he's missed so many games this season shows what a good player he is. In many ways, he's been Liverpool's best player because he hasn't played, because you realise that the impact he has and the importance he has, and he organises, he drives people on, he tackles, he's got tenacity. And the defence have missed that. I think Liverpool have missed Jordan Henderson more than they ever expected.
Yeah, I think it's a good point you make that sometimes you have to take them away to see how important they are. But just going back to the defence, and you mentioned Van Dijk and you mentioned the word complacency, the critics actually have been out for him. Do you think he has been complacent lately? Because we know he usually gets glowing praise from pretty much everybody in world football.
Well, I mean, the season didn't start very well. I was at the game at Anfield when they beat Leeds 4-3, and he made a mistake that let Patrick Bamford score a goal. And from that point on, he's not been the same Virgil van Dijk. And until the start of this season, people were saying he's been the best defender in Premier League history, better than Rio Ferdinand, better than Vincent Kompany. I don't think he is yet. I don't think he's done it long enough. I don't think he's had that sustained kind of elevation at the top of the tree for 5 or 6 years. He's an excellent defender, but maybe people have realised there is a way to get at Van Dijk, to run it in like Bamford did, to put him under pressure. So this season's a big test for Van Dijk. Can he handle the extra pressure that strikers are putting on him? Rio Ferdinand managed that over the years. Vincent Kompany did it. John Terry did it. All these great defenders of the past found a way to cope when strikers try to change their approach. That's Van Dijk's challenge this season, to do the same.
Obviously, it's a team effort overall, and we'll see what the response will be from Liverpool this weekend in the Merseyside derby.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.